Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Let's talk about Saturday night's main event, some reactions, what we might be looking forward to, and implications for SummerSlam. The show kicked off with a women's tag team championship match between Paige and Brie Bella versus Fatal Influence, and the right decision was made here by having Fatal Influence win this match. They realized their championship aspirations on the main roster, and it's a good decision here by WWE to give Fatal Influence this championship win, as they now are leading the tag team division, and hopefully will give that tag team division more exposure, better matches, and then you could lead to maybe a singles championship for someone in that group as well, and so they can kind of take over in a similar fashion like they did in NXT. This was a surprisingly hard-hitting match. There were some messy spots, especially at the end, but this was a hard-hitting match. Now, when that is said, because also Lyra and Bayley was hard-hitting as well, but there's an art form to professional wrestling, and it should look very snug and stiff, those words that people use all the time in a match, but it should not actually feel that way. Now, the best performers on the planet can make it look like they're absolutely beating the shit out of one another, but are not hurting each other at all. We saw some bloody noses, some bloody lips. I mean, Lyra got her fucking nose cracked in, right? They beat the shit out of each other in a very legit manner, and this match also had some of those things as well. And so there's a fine line between hard-hitting and unsafe, and if you're a really good professional wrestler and a really good worker, and let's think of someone like AJ Styles, who had probably the best forearm of all time, he knew how to make it look legit and real and tight, but he wasn't hurting anyone. And that's the art form. And sometimes, yes, mistakes happen and accidents happen, but on a continual basis, I just don't think that's the case, because you should be able to wrestle realistically every single night of the week. That's how you're able to work. And so, yes, this was a surprisingly hard-hitting match, but some of the stuff, maybe means that you should just be a better performer inside of the ring. This was a decently strong start to the show. The match, in my eyes, was a little bit better than expected, but also it was a little messy at times. I think this is in large part that the match was good due to the challengers, now the champions. And so, yeah, that's the start of the show. And Fatal Influence, again, beats Bella and Paige to win the titles. Then we move on to the gimmick match of the night, no disqualification match between Danhausen and J.D. McDonough. I don't care for Danhausen. I don't give a fuck. He doesn't really excite me. I think some of the stuff he does is funny, I guess, and cool, but this match was ridiculous. In terms of match quality, it was like a C, maybe less, because Danhausen is not a good wrestler. In terms of fun, for people, probably an A. Right? I think the best spot of the night was, what's his name? Carl Anthony Towns, chokeslam to J.D. McDonough. J.D. McDonough is really good. He made that chokeslam look like the greatest move of all time, and it had nothing to do with Carl Anthony Towns. Carl Anthony Towns just went like this. J.D. McDonough made that move look spectacular. McDonough is ridiculously good, and generally does not get the praise and adulation someone of his talent has earned. He is ridiculously good and consistent workhorse for the company. Again, Towns delivered a better chokeslam than guys who were getting paid to deliver chokeslams. This was really just a spectacle of the match. It was fun for the fans in Madison Square Garden. They invested in it. I didn't care for it. I don't care for Danhausen, but good for him for being able to produce on WWE television, getting over with the fans, selling a shitload of t-shirts, and great job by J.D. McDonough. And then you go into the next match, which I mentioned a little bit, which is Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. You know this was going to be hard-hitting. Because these two have been friends for a long time. They've worked together, they've wrestled together, they've tagged together, so you knew that they were very familiar with each other, so they were going to be very, very, very tight. I mean, this was a great introduction to the wilder, more sort of unhinged version of Lyra. that will define her heel role moving forward. I think she might add a partner to her group or to her tandem or whatever. Yeah, and like if anything, the blood pouring from her nose and her relentless commitment to the fight helped the overall presentation of the character. So you never know if that shot to the nose was accidental or real, but sometimes those accidental shots really make the match better, and it did. As always, Bayley was great. She elevated this match, and very much did. And some people think because of that, because the way she got beat up and choked out, passed out, and all this stuff, that could be her last WWE match ever. I don't know. There's rumors that Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, I think that's her name in AEW, has brought her over to AEW. There's rumors about that, and so that's why this match happened in the most vicious way, where Lyra really got over on her, beat the shit out of her, choked her out, used a new move. And it was very vicious. That there's a rumor that this could be the last time Bayley steps in a WWE ring, and she's moving over to AEW. I have no idea if those rumors are true, but that's what I have been hearing. And so I thought this match was good, around maybe a B-ish for the most part. Yeah, it was good. I mean, Bailey kind of obliterated Lyra's face early on, causing her to bleed, which we saw, which I think helped the character. And then I think this version of Lyra is very good, and I enjoyed this match. And then we go into the main event: CM Punk, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Sami Zayn. I mean, this match was a fucking sprint from the start. Just ba 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 ba, a sprint from the start, simply because they didn't have enough time to do like their normal kind of full drawn out pacing of the match, because Roman Reigns and Jalen Brunson were coming out after to end the show. And so CM Punk and Cody Rhodes and Gunther and Sami Zayn just went on a full out sprint. And then the most important thing that came from this match was the fact that Nick Aldis cost Gunther and Sami Zayn the match. So the match at SummerSlam remains a one-on-one match between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, which pretty much establishes the fact that Nick Aldis and Gunther are going to wrestle in a match for Nick Aldis's career at SummerSlam. And then somehow, some way, I believe Sami Zayn now has a way in to the SummerSlam match, and it will be a triple threat. It will be a triple threat: Sami Zayn versus CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship in the main event of night one of SummerSlam, while Gunther goes against Nick Aldis. Again, this match was an absolute sprint. They were just bop bop, blue thunder bomb, crossroads from the top, boom boom boom, and then Nick Aldis comes out, costs Gunther. Now Sami Zayn has an idea, has a why, has a reason to change the stipulation, and Nick Aldis has to agree to it because he is the general manager of SmackDown, and he is the one that cost Sami Zayn and Gunther, because if they win, the match becomes a fatal four-way. Now Gunther has his eyes set on Nick Aldis 100%, and now Sami Zayn has a reason to enter himself in the match, and so you'll see that triple threat match main event night one, and you'll see Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins main event night two. And we saw Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Brunson, Halliburton out there to end the show. Of course, that's how WWE was going to end the show. They always want to end the show with the star power and a little bit of a for the fans, and Jalen Brunson and Roman Reigns glazing him and all this type of shit. And it's whatever. I would have just done that right before the match, right? I would have just done Jalen Brunson, Seth Rollins, all those types of things right there. Boom, have that moment, and then you have the tag team match, and you end with CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, kind of standing tall after Nick Aldis did what he did. But I'm not the booker of the show. I don't write the script, so that's what WWE decided to do. But overall, I pretty much enjoyed Saturday night's main event. I thought there was some good matches, better than I expected. I thought the tag team match was better than I expected. I thought Lyra and Bayley was as good as I expected it to be, simply because they have chemistry. I think the spectacle of Danhausen did exactly what it was supposed to do. Most people were entertained at the live audience, which is what it's for. And I did not expect the sprint, fast-paced, nonstop action of the tag team match, but I did enjoy it, and I think I enjoy the direction that they're going to go with the triple threat. Gunther, Nick Aldis. And so overall, Saturday night's main event was a good show for me. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to a few more weeks before we get to SummerSlam to see if anything else happens there. I think in terms of SummerSlam, you're going to see Roman Reigns retain and CM Punk retain. I don't think we're going to see main title changes. I think the biggest title change we're going to see is Chad Gable winning the Intercontinental Championship. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.